Welcome back to the channel. It's Gillis TV here, right on Clemhawks. Today we got kind of follow up on Ken Holland's interview about a defenseman. But first, before we get started, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as we do NHL news, rumors, whatever you want to call it, and same with the MLB. But today, Ken Holland was on the air, I believe it was 2 days ago, and he got asked about Dylan Holloway, who we'll talk in a different video. But he also talked about Philip Proberg. And last year we saw Proberg up in the NHL, Bouchard take a huge jump into the NHL. We seen Niemelainen in there, and we also saw Dmitry Samorukov for a game. But in this press conference radio interview Holland was doing, he mentioned that it's almost a for sure lock that Philip Proberg will be in the Edmonton starting lineup come opening day, or at least on the starting roster. And, you know, this kid got thrown in a fire, comes up from having a great year in the AHL for the Bakersfield Condors, comes up and, you know, starts playing top 4 Deem pairing. He was in the top 4 defensemen. Like, he just came up, showed what he could do. He handled himself pretty damn well, I believe, and a lot of Oilers fans might agree, disagree. But Proberg came up, did his thing, and he even got into a playoff game. And this kid has the potential to actually go be that top defenseman we need. Like I said before, if anyone followed Gillis TV or X Snipes Edmonton Oilers, we have the defensive prospects in the farm system. I did a video about it that I said in a year, 2, 3 years, these guys will be in the NHL. First one was Bouchard. Next one clearly will be Proberg, since on our defense right now we have Ceci, Barrie, Nurse, Bouchard, and Kulak, which I believe Kulak will make the jump from that third pairing D to play second line. He can do it. He's really defensive. I believe he could be a pairing with Cody Ceci or Evan Bouchard, which begs to differ. Who's going to get that sixth spot? Well, there's been talks the Oilers have been interested in PK Subban. If they don't go that route, I have a feeling Philip Proberg will be in that spot, if not the 7th defenseman. Well, now you talk about someone else in Markus Niemelainen, who came into the NHL. No one really knew about him. You know, his name wasn't really mentioned in outside or inside with Bouchard and Proberg. He was on the outside looking in. Comes in and just starts laying hits. Yeah, he wasn't a point producer. He wasn't a goal scorer. But he was a hard-nosed, shutdown defenseman that the Edmonton Oilers, let's be honest, haven't seen in a long time, that likes to throw the hit, doesn't get caught out of position hardly ever when making the hit. This guy, after, 2 games, became a fan favorite. Like, he could be a shoot-in for that 7th, 6th defenseman spot. In reality, if you're Ken Holland, in the back of your head, you hope these 2 guys, Proberg and Niemelainen, push into the lineup, and does that maybe force the hand of Holland to say, these guys are NHL ready, do we actually need Tyson Barrie? Well, all of a sudden, these 2 guys are in the NHL, and you got a couple more guys in the AHL that could potentially fill in if there is an injury. I don't think you need Tyson Barrie. You don't need to. I'm saying this right now, and this is before anything that we know. I believe when they announce their opening day rosters, when they have to submit their rosters, look, Niemelainen and Philip Proberg will be on that roster for the Edmonton Oilers, because these 2 kids, besides Bouchard of course, are our future. They are our future of defensemen. They showed it last year what they can do in the NHL. It was a minimum stint, but Proberg played second pair D'ing minutes, which is unheard of when you get called up. Niemelainen was a shutdown third pairing defenseman that did more than what he was asked. Like, he was taking on top line players, hitting them, everything. I'm excited for the Edmonton Oilers' future blue line, and I'm sorry for anyone that likes Tyson Barrie, but I really don't think Tyson Barrie's on that D-line if these two show up at training camp, make the roster, and prove that they deserve to be on the Edmonton Oilers lineup night in, night out. There's no room for Tyson Barrie. You got to trade ship to try and bolster more offense than you already have, which is insane, to make that run to the Stanley Cup final and potentially win the Stanley Cup. I believe the way Proberg and Niemelainen play could do that a lot. And you got to think, when Proberg's stint, they were short defensemen, so of course his plus-minus fluctuates that. You also got to think that our forward group wasn't 100% healthy when he was up in the lineup. So let's go take a few stats here. Proberg played 23 games last year. He had 3 points for -8, which honestly, when you're called up playing against top NHL players, that's pretty damn good. I'm sorry to say. That's really good. Yeah, he wasn't on the ice much with Connor McDavid, which could fluctuate that. And our bottom six wasn't the best last year per se. It was better than years before, but it still wasn't there. Now you got NHL experience, 23 games. You're looking to make an impact on the Edmonton Oilers this upcoming season if you're Proberg. Not Niemelainen. He had 20 games last season. He only had 1 assist, but he's a defensive defenseman. He's a shutdown, hard-nosed defenseman, and he was a -5 playing with the likes of Chris Russell and Tyson Barrie, who I believe, got hurt during the season. That's why those numbers aren't higher. But he was a shutdown, hard-nosed defenseman. He was averaging, I think, at least 5 hits a game for a lot of those games. Like, that is insane. That's the type of defenseman the Edmonton Oilers need, especially against top-end players, to wear them down and whatnot, and get into the dirty areas where it scares them a bit. Now I said there's more in the prospect. You got a tall guy that's actually on the ice right now, and Desjardins, who could also try and make a push. He's like Markus Niemelainen, plays a hard defensive game, likes to hit. Could he be maybe on the call-up in case someone gets injured? Possibility. We did see Dmitry Samorukov last year. You know, that one game, he only played, I think it was 3 minutes. He got beat twice. But it was his first stint, and Dave Tippett just said, no, get him out of here, because he wasn't good. Well, I'm sorry. It's his first NHL game. He probably has the jitters. We're talking about Dave Tippett out of everyone. Woodcroft has coached Samorukov. Woodcroft and Manson have coached Niemelainen, Proberg, Desjardins, and Samorukov. They know how to talk to these guys. That's the exciting part about Jay Woodcroft and Dave Manson. But I'm going to end that here. Let me know in the video what you guys think will happen with the Oilers defense. Do these guys make a push for that bottom pairing, maybe even more, and push Tyson Barrie out of town? It's a possibility. We've seen tons of teams do it. Look at the Ducks back in the day. They had a solid team core, and young guys got even better and pushed some of the veterans out. We never know. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Stay safe. And also tune into that Fernando Tatis. Suspended 80 games. That is insane. Catch that one on the channel. I'll talk to you guys later.